He was walking really fast and holding a toddler, and I thought, this looks really suspicious.
A suspicious scene for sure out of Salem as a man is arrested for allegedly abducting a woman and her child. We'll bring you the details on this.
Also, a bargaining breakthrough for some Providence employees involved in the largest healthcare worker strike in Oregon history. We'll talk about what units have reached a tentative deal and more on the thousands of others who are still on the picket line.
But I think he's maybe made his prediction.
Move over, Ron Hill and Chris McGinnis. There's a new meteorologist in town. We'll take a closer look at Stumptown Phil's forecast, predicting when winter will end, as your news at sunrise starts right now. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. I don't think Stumptown Phil is that new at it. I think he's been doing that, Chris, for about 5 years. But the zoo says that not the best at making these predictions. He's only right about half the time.
Can I also add that we seem to be getting looser and looser with the definition of meteorologist here, all right? So take that, you furballs. All right, let's get you out the door. We are dealing with mixed rain and snow showers down low, higher terrain dealing with snow through the Oregon Coast Range this morning. We'll get to that in a second. Down low, 37 degrees at the airports, 36 in downtown, 34 right now, Beaverton, Wilsonville, 35. Almost all of our temperature readings in the Willamette Valley are above several degrees above freezing this morning, meaning whatever's falling out there, even if there's some snowflakes mixed in, we're not anticipating any travel problems on the roads in the valley this morning. Mixed rain and snow showers, or a shower chance, continues into this afternoon. I've got Portland getting into the 40s today. We do have snow in the higher terrain. We've got school closures and delays to tell you about, starting off with the Jewel District and the Rainier School District on a 2-hour, closed this morning. Clatskanie, Toledo, Warrenton, Hammond, Astoria, Tillamook, Napa, Nestucca Valley on 2-hour delays. And also we've got school delays out in, I should say, the Molalla River District, Oregon Trail. Those are all running across the bottom of your screen. All right, Highway 26 right now at the Sylvan Hill. Looks fine. Actually, whatever falls from the sky today will be very light, but we could see a few snowflakes mixed in with the raindrops early today. Guys, that's a look at the roads right now. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 6 o'clock, focused on the new immigration policies under President Trump. Since taking office 2 weeks ago, the president has signed executive orders covering deportations and border enforcement. He also moved to end birthright citizenship, although that move was blocked by a federal judge in the state of Washington. House Republicans have also introduced at least 6 bills aimed at immigration reform. In response, immigrants across the country are organizing a day of protest today called A Day Without Immigrants, a movement they say means no spending, no work, and no school.
And some people here locally have joined that movement. Daisy Caballero joins us in the studio with more on this. Daisy.
Hey, yeah, Drew, China, those participating say that it's a movement aimed at showing the vital role immigrants play in the U.S. economy. It's also a protest against anti-immigration policies. As of May of last year, Oregon is home to over 420,000 immigrants. That's according to the Immigration Research Initiative. That's about 10% of the state's population. Bakun, an Oregon farm workers union located in Woodburn, took to social media to highlight the movement, adding that, quote, they support all who participate. Immigrant rights are human rights, and no fight for justice has ever been won quietly. So how will this affect you, the viewers at home? Well, many Latino and immigrant businesses in the Portland Metro and beyond will be closing shop today to participate. Businesses like Birreria La Plaza, a popular taco shop out in Gresham and now inside the Ritz-Carlton. The owner, Horacio Hernandez, posted on Instagram last night, sharing that his 2 locations will be participating in the nationwide movement, sharing, quote, we would not exist without the power of our people that work hard and simply want to improve their lives and those around them. We mentioned a few, but President Donald Trump signed a total of 10 executive orders in his first week in office on immigration and made new rules intended to more easily expel people from the country. That included ending a policy that avoided arresting immigrants at schools, hospitals, and churches. And as of this morning, KGW has not been made aware of any demonstrations planned for the Portland Metro for today. But of course, we'll keep an eye out for you and share any information if and when that does become available. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Daisy. Union members in 2 of the 11 bargaining units involved in the ongoing Providence healthcare workers strike will begin to vote to ratify a new contract today.
Bottom line here, though, these 2 units only make up about 80 total caregivers at Providence Women's Clinic. There are still 9 other units currently in federal mediation. So in other words, more than 4,000 Providence workers remain on strike. Picket lines began back on January 10th, more than 3 full weeks ago. The city of Portland and the unions representing about 200 city workers is set to resume mediation today. The city presented a revised offer to those workers last Tuesday. If an agreement isn't reached between these 2 sides, the unions say their workers will go on strike starting Thursday. Just last week, the city and a different union representing over 1,000 Portland city workers did reach a tentative agreement after almost 18 hours of state-mediated bargaining. Members of that union and the Portland City Council still need to vote on that contract.
A strike against a local grocery chain expanded to a new location. Workers at the Seven Corners New Seasons voted on Friday to join the ongoing strike at the Arbor Lodge location. The picketing started Tuesday following a claim that New Seasons unfairly fired the labor union's treasurer. The union says New Seasons fired him for 2 minor policy violations, both done in service of his blind coworker. We reached out to New Seasons, who says that they are committed to handling terminations consistent with company protocols, and say the suggestion that firing was based on a union affiliation is not true.
Next story, caught on camera, police in Salem arrested a man who allegedly abducted his estranged girlfriend and her young child in the middle of the night. According to police, early Saturday morning around 3 a.m., Javier Munoz got into their home with a gun and held the mom and her child there for about 12 hours before he forced them to leave alongside him. Someone called police saying they saw a man and a woman struggling over a child near Gear Community Park. That's when officers responded, and they say they eventually found Munoz and the child near the park under an RV. We talked to the couple who recorded Munoz's arrest after they first saw him outside their home.
He was walking really fast and holding a toddler, and then he goes on the other side of our back fence, goes clear down the length of that, jumps over a fence, and I thought, this looks really suspicious.
Munoz was booked into the Polk County Jail and faces several charges, including first-degree kidnapping. The child was returned unhurt to their mother.
Then we continue to follow a shooting in rural Columbia County that left 2 people dead, including the shooter, and 3 others injured. Sheriff's deputies were called to a section of Ilmari Road around 1:30 Saturday afternoon. It's about 5 miles from Klatskanai. According to police, 2 people were found dead, including the person who started the shooting. 3 others were injured there. They were transported to local hospitals, including one by Life Flight, who is still in critical condition as of yesterday. And the Columbia County Major Crimes Team is investigating.
Washington County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man from Mississippi early Saturday morning after a chase. They say it started when deputies tried to pull the man over in northwest Beaverton. He didn't stop at first, but eventually surrendered to deputies after getting stuck in a marsh. During that chase, deputies say they saw a gun in his hand, which was later found by a canine. Deputies also say the 31-year-old LaMarcus Thomas had a warrant out for armed robbery in the state of Mississippi. He's now set to face a slew of charges, including attempting to elude an officer, felon in possession of a firearm, and DUII.
All right, before we hear from Chris, let's get the latest forecast from Oregon Zoo's Philbert the Beaver, also known as Stumptown Phil. He's our own local representative for Groundhog Day, which takes place on February 2nd. This year, Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter with a little help from Blazers mascots Blaze and Doug Fur. Last year, Phil predicted an early spring, and we didn't see any more snow the rest of the season. So there's that.
Chris, do you concur?
I mean, how often do we see snow in Portland? And how often do we see it after February anyway? But
I'm just saying.
I digress. All right, well, that's what the animals say. But here is the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This is for the month of February, all 28 days. And it actually skews towards, are you ready? Slightly below average temperatures for the month of February, and actually March and April as well. Now, that's not to say that doesn't guarantee there's snow. It doesn't say that, but it suggests that temperatures will be a bit on the cool side here for the short term and probably over the next month or so. All right, radar satellite radar right now showing a smattering of snow showers continuing through the Coast Range this morning. We have had some closures and delays. The Rainier District closed today. The Jewel District closed today. We also have numerous late openings. Astoria, Tillamook, etc. on 2-hour delays. Those are ticking away across the bottom of your screen. Meanwhile, in the Willamette Valley this morning, we're 37 degrees at PDX. We're 36 in Tigard, Wilsonville 35, and Salem checking in with 39. So most of the major reporting sites well above freezing this morning in the flats of the I-5 corridor. Futurecast shows the precipitation really dissipating as we go through the day. We may have some spotty showers or snow flurries today, but generally anything that falls will be pretty light. Let's fast forward to tomorrow morning. I think we may be a degree or two cooler on Tuesday, and there is at least the chance for some more mixed rain and snow showers tomorrow morning. But our best bet for maybe any possible sticking snow on the valley floor, I think, is going to be Wednesday morning. And that's why I have that highlighted as my KGW weather impact alert day. With temperatures getting below freezing, we're pretty sure on that, and moisture in the vicinity, that could have things being pretty interesting Wednesday. Obviously, we're still 48 hours away from that. We're trying to find a needle in the haystack here in terms of the weather system that's going to cause that snow. So just know that that's what we're looking at. Beyond that, though, the forecast, what the groundhog say? Early spring? That is not spring-like to me, folks. Back to you. No.